Let us understand some important concepts related to integers, that is, operations on integers. So let's begin with addition. Here we have two cases. The first case talks about the addition of integers having the same sign. Let's understand this with some examples. So, in this example, we are supposed to add two positive integers, that is plus 3 and plus 4. So, as per the rule, we need to add the absolute values and take common sign. So, adding the absolute values, that means 3 plus 4 will give us 7. And we need to put the sign which is in common. So in this case, the common sign is positive. So our result would be positive 7 or plus 7. Okay, in this example, we are supposed to add two negative integers, that is minus 3 and minus 4. So we need to add the absolute values, that means 3 plus, and we need to take the common sign. So the common sign in this case is negative. So our result would be minus 7 or negative 7. The second case talks about the addition of two integers with different signs. So, as per the rule, we are supposed to subtract the absolute values and take the sign of the largest absolute values. Let us understand this with some examples. Okay, in this example, we have a negative integer, that is minus 5, and a positive integer which is plus 9. So we are supposed to subtract the absolute values. So greater value minus the lesser value. That means 9 minus 5 will give us 4. And the sign of the largest absolute is positive. So our resultant integer would be positive 4 or plus 4. The next example is addition of a positive integer which is plus 8 and a negative integer which is minus 13. So we are supposed to subtract the absolute values. That means 13 minus 8 will give us 5. And the sign of the largest absolute value will be taken. That means the negative sign is of the largest value. So our resultant integer will be minus 5. Now let's look into this diagram of signs. The first case, we have addition of two positive integers and the resultant integer will also be a positive integer. So positive 5 is being added up with positive 5. So we need to add the absolute value as per the rule. That means 5 plus 5 is 10. And as both the integers are positive, so resultant number will also be positive. Hence, it is positive 10 or plus 10. The second case we have is addition of a positive and a negative integer. And the resultant integer in this case can be positive or it can be negative. Here we need to subtract the absolute value. That means 4 minus 3 is 1 and sign will be of greater absolute value which is negative. So our result is negative 1 or minus 1. The third case talks about the addition of a negative integer and a positive integer. The resultant can be negative or positive in this case. So let's understand this with an example. Negative 4 is being added up with positive 6. So as per the rule, we need to subtract the absolute numbers. That is 6 minus 4 is 2. And then put the sign of greater integer which is positive. Hence our resultant integer is or plus 2. The fourth case talks about the addition of two negative integers. Let's take one example. As per the rule, we need to add the absolute values, that is 5 plus 2 is 7, and then put the sign which is in common, and here it is negative sign. Hence our resultant integer is negative 7 or minus 7. Now let's take one question and see how this concept can be used in solving the questions. So here we need to evaluate minus 35 plus minus 56 plus 87. We can easily solve it just by arranging the numbers, like shuffling minus 56 and now first we can add the negative values by applying the rule where we need to add the absolute values and then take the common sign. That means 35 plus 56 is 91 and common sign is negative. So we would get minus 91. Now we can use the rule of adding a positive and a negative integer, which says to subtract absolute values and take the sign of greater value. That means 91 is 4 and greater value has a negative sign. So our final answer is minus 4 or negative 4.